I awoke feeling rested. It was hours since we fell asleep. I climbed out of bed and did my usual washroom visit. On the food dispenser, the screen thoughtfully showed the estimated time to the Ori border. There was lots to go yet. I got a cup of hot beverage and took a seat at the table. My mind wandered as I sipped my drink and inhaled the vapors. I sat for a long time. Then suddenly, a pair of arms wrapped around me from behind. Jem's voice said, "Good morning." "Good morning, Jem," I said. I took a moment before I realized. She'd greeted me in English, which was the Earth language my mother had used with me long ago. I turned in my chair in her arms until I was facing my captain. She was smiling. "You speak English?" I asked. "In English?" I hoped she wasn't too fluent, as it wasn't my best. It had been many cycles since I spoke it. She smiled and responded in Ori, "Only a little. I did some research, and Ship had recordings in the archives. I learned some greetings and a few phrases. It was a pleasant surprise. Thank you. I haven't heard that since before my mother died," I said in Ori. "I'll be back in a moment." She let go of me and dashed to the ensuite. After taking another sip of my drink, I realized it had gone cold. Returning my cup back to the food dispenser, I got a fresh cup for myself and something for Jem. I put our drinks on the table. Soon, Jem returned and sat and took a sip from her cup. She nodded and smiled at me. I smiled back. "You smile a lot," I said. "I do since I met you. We're all smiling a lot recently." She said, "Yes." We both took a sip. It's funny how quickly your life can change. When we have time, I'd be glad to share with you the recordings I have. Earth is a closed world, too primitive, but other races have observed from afar. She smiled at me. I felt she was trying hard to win me over. It was okay, but she was in danger of overdoing it. "You had me at good morning," I said in Ori. "If I never hear it again, it would be fine with me. Earth isn't my home. I am content to let it be." I slid out of my chair a bit and opened my arms, and she was in my lap. We hugged. "Jem, if I am a genetic match to Baglogi, does that mean there's a connection between humans and Baglogi?" I asked. "I don't know. Perhaps many thousands of cycles ago, some Baglogi settled on Earth," she said. "Or perhaps long ago, Earth had an advanced spacefaring society. They had some terrible war, and the survivors regressed to a more primitive level. Meanwhile, some had escaped the war and moved on to become the Baglogi," I suggested. "I don't have an answer. We can only speculate," she said. A while later, Kaluna had awoke. We all ended up in the main bridge to plan our visit to the Ori Confederation. Kaluna said, "We need to tread carefully. This vessel is a warship, and it could trigger the wrong reaction." "I agree. We don't want to get killed trying to meet our future ally," I said. "What do you have in mind?" asked Jem. "You negotiate with a potentially difficult vendor from the same side of the table. If they see me first, they should listen to me. Then, at Ori High Command, I suggest just bring on and I meet with them. Our Ori citizenship credentials should offer us protections you don't have. We cannot put the last Baglogi and our captain at risk," Kaluna said. "Are they likely to want to board our vessel?" asked Jem. "Interstellar laws allow for allied and friendly vessels to be sovereign territory. We need to state we are friendly and seek a formal alliance and ask for safe passage. We must avoid any actions they could interpret as hostile. Then we should be safe." Kaluna replied, "Kaluna, Ori is your home, so we'll follow your lead. Let us know what you need. Brian, you work with Kaluna on this. I'll be keeping out of view once we reach the border," said Jem. "Yes, Captain." I smiled. We'd been fairly informal so far, but I understood this was an order. "Kaluna, when you're ready to talk further on the plan, I'll be ready." It seemed we had worked out the important details. I headed to a room where I could have a private talk with Ship. "Ship, when I was aboard the Opaluna, there were various video training courses available to help crew learn skills needed. Do you have this capability? And am I permitted to take such training courses when that was Kurtis?" I asked. "Confirmed. Please state the courses you would like to learn," Ship answered. "That's the problem. I don't know what courses you have available," I said. "Confirmed," said Ship. "Does it have a sense of humor?" "Perhaps we can start with your learning objectives. I would like to become more useful as a crew member. I expect I may need to perform multiple roles. Please prioritize roles that are needed the most and would most fit my skills and experience, I said. I figured Ship knew what courses I had completed on the freighter because the ID chip in my arm contained such information. The screen now showed a list of roles. Ship, that list is too long. Please could you truncate it to the top 5, then select training courses on those roles, together with prerequisite courses, I said. The screen now showed an impressive list of courses. Excellent, Ship. Are all these courses available in Ori? Unless you would like to take them in the original Baglogi, said Ship. Oh no, Ori is fine. I would need to learn Baglogi one day, if only to return the favor to Jem. If you could assign me a training schedule, then I am ready to begin, I said. I wanted to use my spare time to learn more. Processing complete. You may begin when ready. The screen now showed the starting page for the first course, so I sat down and began my studies. We started with foundation courses. They were in Ori. There was a lot of testing to confirm how much I already understood. Based upon my current level, Ship would adjust the training. It worked out well for me. I didn't get bored and I was learning a lot. I was reviewing a program on Baglogi engineering, and I was so engrossed in the subject I didn't hear someone come in. Suddenly, I felt her hands on my shoulders. Hey, Brian, said Jem. Great idea. How is it going? There's always more to learn. Ship has been helpful. These courses are really well designed. I'm enjoying the process and learning a lot, I said. Did you know you have been at it since this morning? You missed a couple of meal times. I thought it best to leave you to it. But it's time to sleep now, Jem said as she squeezed my shoulders in some kind of massage. I realized I hadn't got up from my seat for hours. I rolled my head around to release the tension in my neck. Ship, save his place and end training for today, said Jem. Come on, Brian. Time for rest. Reluctantly, I got up. My back ached from sitting all day. Jem guided me back to my hour cabin. Kaluna was already in bed and we changed and joined her. I was unconscious as soon as my head hit the pillow. The next day, we were still several days out from the border. After breakfast with Kaluna and Jem, I returned to my training. Unlike the freighter, I didn't have a work duty schedule. It seemed like this vessel ran itself. I was used to working, and for now, the training courses were my work. Today, I paced myself and even took a break for a lunch. I met with Kaluna and Jem to share a meal. How goes the training, Brian? Asked Jem. It's going well, thanks. Ship had me go over what I learned yesterday before progressing. Did you know there are lots of maintenance tasks that aren't covered by the automated repair systems? Once I'm qualified, I can help Ship with some tasks that are needed, I said. Take your time. There's nothing pressing at the moment. I don't want you to overdo it, she said. Yes, spend time with us, said Kaluna. Yesterday, you skipped meals and Jem had to remind you to sleep. I'm sorry. I got excited about all I was learning. Ship, please adjust my schedule to include additional rest times, exercise, and time to spend together with Kaluna and Jem, I said. Confirmed, I've adjusted your schedule as directed, said Ship. Brian, you don't have to work so hard. You did great with the pirates. At the Ori Confederation, there'll be more to occupy you, said Jem. That's how I am. I grew up as a primitive, in a spacefaring world. I had to work twice as hard to show I was every bit as good as everyone else, I insisted. Also, on TN Prime, there's little socializing. I'm used to throwing myself into my studies. It's hard to change my habits. Jem gave me a hug. Kaluna appeared ready to tag in once Jem let go. I understand, said Jem. You have already earned your place here. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. I believe in you. We believe in you. We also need you to spend time with us too. I've spent cycles alone out here in the void. I never want to be alone again. Kaluna was nodding in agreement. Ship, class is out early today. No more training this afternoon. I have 2 beautiful ladies to hang out with, I said. Although I had been looking forward to returning to my classes with Ship, there were higher priorities. They both smiled at me. That set the tone for the following days. I spent only half a day training with Ship and half with Kaluna and/or Jem. In my past, I was alone and could do as I wanted. It was a big part of my former success, but I was no longer alone. Ship woke us up in plenty of time before we reached the border to the Ori Confederation. We were all in the main bridge watching the tactical display. Ship came out of hyperspace without stealth on and activated a transponder. With any luck, the Ori could read it. It didn't take long. An Ori patrol vessel has detected our presence and is changing course to intercept, said Ship. What is the estimated arrival time? Asked Jem. Estimate they'll be in range in 7 minutes. Jem turned to Kaluna. Kaluna, are you ready? Yes, Ship. When we return their hail, please focus on me, so I will fill their view, said Kaluna. A few minutes later, we got the incoming hail we expected. Unidentified vessel, you are entering Ori space. Come to a full stop and identify yourself. Ship, all stop. Answer their hail, said Kaluna. Jem and I sat apart from Kaluna, so she was the only one visible to the patrol commander. Our plan was that the patrol commander would most likely not open fire upon another Ori citizen before asking why she was here in a huge star cruiser. The image of a male Ori filled our display. Commander, my name is Kaluna. I was until recently crew of the Ori freighter Opaluna, and now I am crew of this vessel. I'm transmitting my credentials to you now. She nodded to the side, and I assume Ship took that as a directive. Ship transmitted the contents of her ID chip to the patrol vessel. After a minute, the commander responded. What is the purpose of your visit to the Ori Confederation? Asked the commander. Commander, pirates attacked and destroyed the Ori freighter known as the Opaluna. Myself and one other crewmate escaped the freighter in an escape pod, and this vessel rescued us. We joined their crew in exchange for the opportunity to go after the pirates. We successfully located and destroyed the pirates. Our business in the Ori Confederation is to proceed to Ori High Command, to report the incident and provide sufficient evidence and testimony to confirm the events as I have described to you. We request safe passage and escort to Ori High Command. I must report this and get orders before we can proceed. Do not make any hostile moves. I had a family member on the Opaluna. Did you know Yarin? He was in navigation, asked the commander. I knew Yarin, but he was chief engineer, said Kaluna. That's correct. Please forgive me. I had to confirm. I guess he wasn't the other crewmate you mentioned escaped with you? He asked. No, I am sorry he wasn't. I can introduce you to Brian, if you like. Please do, said the commander. I stood up and stepped over to stand beside Kaluna. Ship adjusted the view to include both of us. The commander looked visibly startled. Ship, please transmit my credentials, I said in Ori. Commander, I am pleased to meet you. My name is Brian. I figure I am not what you expected. When you check my credentials, you'll see I joined the crew from Tion Prime. The Ori ambassador on Tion Prime will confirm this. I understand that the ambassador also granted me Ori citizenship, and you should find all the details within my credentials. Fortunately, I'd worked hard on my Ori. I hope it impressed him to hear me speak politely in his language. I tried to smile. Please wait a moment while we examine your credentials. Several minutes passed by. Brian, we've confirmed your credentials. It lists you as diplomatic staff, assigned to the late Captain Jago. Welcome to the Ori Confederation, he said. So far, so good. Thank you. This is my first visit to the Ori Confederation. Please forgive that I did not show myself at first. We came with peaceful intentions and don't want misunderstandings to lead to any unfortunate events, I said, smiling again. I know Ori can smile, and I wanted to keep everything calm. I see the wisdom of your actions, said the commander. This time he smiled a little. Commander, I also knew Yarin. I spent a few duty shifts in engineering during my short time aboard the Opaluna. I give you my word as a fellow Ori citizen, all the scum who killed him are dead. We have the video and sensor logs. Once this is over, I'd be happy to meet with you. We can drink to his memory. I looked him in the eye and gave him all the sincerity I could muster. Perhaps we will share a drink. I look forward to that day. On that day, ask for Commander Kwan. Please remain where you are until I get a response. It should not take too long. I will contact you again soon. At that point, the commander saluted and the screen went blank. Kaluna let out a sigh and hugged me. Jem came over and hugged us both. You both did great, said Jem. Ship, how long would you estimate before they get back to us? If they use typical communication relays and the distance involved, at least 2 hours, said Ship. We settled in to wait.